Yo, what's up guys, welcome to the second episode of my team career mode in F1 23. Of course, last race was an amazing race. If you haven't seen that one, go check out, the link is in the bio. But yeah, we are now heading our way to Saudi Arabia, of course the second race of the season. But first we have to do some activities to help our teammates, help our team and increase our value, of course, to make sure that we can become world champion by season 3. That is what I said in last video. Of course, that was a joke, but if we can do that, well, it would be quite sad, as it would mean that Haas could have been world champion in 2018. But yeah, let's see what we can do, as we are going to upgrade some of our upgrades that we can do. Of course, we have enough resource points, 2.2k almost. And I was looking for some upgrades everywhere. As you see, aerodynamics, powertrain, and as you can see, we do an upgrade on the chassis, but we can only do one because our department is still on spec 0 and we have to upgrade it to do 2 upgrades simultaneously. So we go for a major drag reduction upgrade on the aerodynamics, and then also a minor upgrade on the powertrain. So hopefully that will help us on our way to become world champion, as we do upgrade our powertrain, the build time, to spec 1, so that we can do more upgrades on the powertrain, as that is our weakest part of our car. So we have to improve it to make sure that if we get to Spa, if we get to Monza, if we get to some faster tracks, then we have to have a good power engine, just to make sure, as we are now doing a department event, we chose for 7 more pace for our teammate, because I know that his pace is just horrible and his awareness is still quite good. So that's why I'm trying to help him, as we are now continuing. Still no upgrades for this race, but hopefully as we go to Australia we will have a lot of upgrades which will help us to get to the front. Alright, so qualifying. As you can see, Q1, I waited until everybody was out. Of course, nobody, not everybody has set a time just yet, but we are now starting with our first lap. Hopefully our last lap as well, because we want to save some tires for the race and of course for later parts of qualifying, as we slide into turn 1, go into turn 2 as well. You can see Albon is ahead, and I know that because he is on a flying lap as well. And my AI just put me there and expected me to just wait without even knowing that Albon was on a flying lap. So as you can see, purple first sector, don't know how I did that. I totally forgot to change the AI in qualifying, so you'll see me being fast in qualifying and then slow down a bit in the race. As you can see, at the end of the lap we are fighting with Albon and having a weird line in that final corner, but even if we do that we can still manage to get P1. Yeah. I decided to not do another run, it was not necessary at all. As you can see, we are still fast by 0.2 of a second. Yeah, we definitely need to up that AI level. I decided to up it to 95, not because it's my name, Nick95, but because I thought 5 increases on the AI would be good enough. But yeah, I don't know just yet if that's really good. You can see my teammate is 2 seconds off the pace, unfortunately, so we will be getting a new teammate halfway through the season if we have enough money, of course. But yeah, as we are now going into Q2, still the same AI level. You can't change it in between qualifying sessions. That would be really weird to see them drop down like 2 seconds if you put it all the way down to 0% AI. So that would be quite funny actually, just to get through Q1 and Q2 easily. As we collide with the wall, nothing too major, we can still continue our lap. And expect this to be a good one as well. It wasn't the best lap, but still P4 is good enough for Q3. But I decided to give it another go. We were all the way back down into P8 and there was still a lot of fast drivers behind us. So I wanted to secure myself into that Q3 as long as we have the AI set to 90 instead of 95. Later on it might even go to 97, 98. But as we are now going through Q1, I decided to steer in a bit too early and we are out. We are out of qualifying. To be honest, I don't know if this something bad. You can see, even if I didn't do this run, I would still be P8. But it's maybe something good, because we don't deserve to be in the Q3 teams just yet. So I think this is maybe for the better for now. Of course, it's really unfortunate because it didn't happen all season long, all weekend long. But now in Q2, when it mattered, it happened. So yeah, hopefully the race will go good, even though we have our AI set to 95.
We're here today on the shores of the Red Sea in the lower Hijaz Mountains to visit one of the newest circuits on the Formula One calendar. We're in Jeddah, home to what we all hope is going to be a thrilling Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. So let's take a look at the topographical map of the Jeddah Street Circuit. As you can see, a number of challenging corners for the drivers to master here. We'll see just how much the teams have benefited from their time spent in practice this weekend. And like many street circuits, this track has the potential to punish drivers that get it wrong. Let's hope we avoid any safety cars today. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Fantastic effort from Charles Leclerc yesterday, and it's put him on pole. And Max Verstappen lines up alongside. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Sainz, Perez, Hamilton, Russell, Norris, Stroll, Bottas, Lightning, Ocon, Magnussen, Fernando Alonso, Gasly, Oscar Piastri, Hulkenberg, Joe, Albon, Drugovich, Tsunoda, Sargent, Tsunoda. With preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track. Anthony Davidson is with me once again to take you through today's action. And we have plenty of twists and turns to come over the next hour or so, I'm sure. Now, let's talk about Charles Leclerc.
Well, it was a really impressive lap in qualifying to get pole position, but are they going to be able to hold on to the lead into the first corner with so many quick starters around them? And of course, it's looking very close here today. A lot's going to be riding on those first few corners, and then the question becomes who can manage their tyres so they're in a better position to push hard towards the end.
So of course we are starting P10, but what tyre are we starting on? Well, that's revealed right now. We are starting on the softs. Of course, we are the first runners to start on the softs, going to the hards at around lap 10, hopefully. You can see all the other drivers are mediums or softs. Nobody's going for hards to do the overcut, because of course in this game we know that the undercut is really powerful compared to the overcut. You could sometimes win or lose 2 or 3 seconds just by pitting one lap early or late. So we want to preserve or prevent that from happening. As it's lights out and away we go for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix of 2023. Of course, with this new game we have a better chance of getting a good start, as we are still alongside Bottas in P9, fighting for P9 actually, as we are now back down to P10. But yeah, I noticed that in this game we have a lot more confidence on the throttle, which helps a lot with the starts compared to the AI, because last year, if you remember that, you can always watch the series F1 22 MyTeam career mode back. But yeah, I noticed that it was very difficult to even out-traction the AI, not even in the first part, but in the second part of the start as well. But in this game it's way easier, my starts are way better, and it helps a lot in getting a good position to start the race and finish the race as well. Because if you can park the bus somewhere, well, then you can easily keep some drivers behind. Of course not in this track, because you can see Magnussen now trying to overtake me, and he's actually doing it. We are now starting in lap 2, not P2. But you can see we are fighting with the likes of Magnussen, Bottas, Stroll and Norris are of course ahead of us, but they are a lot faster, I can tell you that already. You can see now that I have upped it to 95, the AI settings, that we are finally a bit down. We are not back with the likes of Ferrari, Red Bull and Mercedes. We are now fighting with Haas, Alfa Romeo. I think this is a bit better, maybe still a bit too high, because we are of course the third worst car on the grid. Hopefully next race that will improve a bit, as we are upgrading of course every single department except for durability. I haven't really noticed it to be necessary in all my team, of course. I've seen a few others where they had like 2 or 3 DNFs in just 7 races. That's of course really unfortunate for them, but they chose for a Ferrari engine. Well, what do you expect? As we get our first warning of this race, you have 2 tokens, and if you use them, you have to be careful, because if you do it a third time, then you will get a 3-second time penalty. By the way, you can now definitely see that we are losing time to Norris and Stroll as they are getting away from us. And that wasn't the best run, so that kept me from overtaking Bottas here already. But I think it's only better that I don't overtake him here, to get another DRS zone on him and to try to overtake him there so that we can get away from him. Of course, that will be difficult, even though he's on the mediums. I have a feeling that the mediums would have been the better racing tire, as our tire wear is extremely high. I of course forgot, as we do a lovely move on Bottas there, I forgot that we have no upgrades on our tire wear just yet. Of course, I was used to the other game where you had max tire wear, and yeah, it was really easy to do one stop from softs to mediums even. But on this game it's mediums to hards, that's the best strategy. Or if you are in a position where you can do a 2-stop and it will still be faster, then of course you can do soft to mediums, or soft medium, or medium soft or anything else. But you can see still fighting with Magnussen, Bottas, Alonso. It's a really interesting Grand Prix because we have a lot of fighting here already just in 6 laps time, starting lap 6, so only 5 laps have gone by. But yeah, you can see a lot of overtakes are already now trying to get back at Magnussen. But we go wide, we go into the curb, and we can take a look from Alonso's onboard, and we just come back on track. I don't know why we didn't get a penalty for a dangerous re-entry back onto the track. Of course, Alonso wasn't happy. He of course complained to his team and to the AI of my ridiculous driving, but they didn't care. So yeah, luckily it's still a game and it's not real life, because if it was real life we would have gotten a 5-second penalty, or maybe even more. Depends on what the AI think of me. No, not the AI, the FIA. F-I-A. Yeah. Wait. Yeah, okay, I was thinking I said everything wrong so far, but I am not, as we are still in the fight with Magnussen for P9, trying to go really wide there to maybe use a different line, but of course the racing line is still there and it's still the fastest line that you can take through all of the corners. Of course it's not the perfect line, but I still like it to guide me through the laps, as I am still not the best player on F1 23. Of course, I am not an esports driver, I'm just doing this for fun, hopefully making a career of it, but eventually we can only get there if we take the time to improve ourselves every single day, every single video, as we overtake Magnussen for lap 9. What am I saying with laps and places? My places and laps are all messed up, but luckily we are now in P9 and almost in lap 9, as we drop down to P10 and we get no DRS, but we are going into the pits early because my softs are dead. They are already on 45%, drifting into the pit lane. Beautiful move there. And now it's time to get ourselves on to the hards, away with these ridiculous softs which have 5% tire wear each lap. It's just ridiculous. So yeah, hopefully with these hards they have a bit less tire wear and we can actually try to fight back and gain at least 1 point. That's my goal for this race, of course, to get every single race another point, to keep ourselves in the top 8 of the teams, because that's our goal for this season. We accepted Xenon as our sponsor, but their goal for us was to be at least P8 in the constructor standings, and if we can do that, well, that's going to be really difficult, because we won't get any money from them, as Alonso is now coming out of the pits as well. He was of course behind us, did some better laps on his, I think it was softs as well, as he's going on to the medium, but we managed to overtake him. So luckily that means that we get at least 1 position. As you can see, Nick de Vries, he's still on softs in lap 11. I don't know what this guy is doing, but he's not fast at all. He's the slowest guy on track, as Alonso overtakes me with ease. He tries to go for a move around the other side of de Vries, as we have to be really careful actually pushing Alonso through. I checked with a flashback, of course, if the damage was enabled, and it actually was. So I was really surprised to see, as we are going 3 wide, that I didn't get any damage from that colliding with Alonso as we now overtake De Vries and Alonso in one straight. But Alonso is fighting back and it looks like he has the better line and the better traction out of the corner. So lap 12 and we are still in P15. Is it 15? No, it's 16 actually. I didn't see that. But it's P16 for now. Of course, a lot of people still have to pit as there are a McLaren, an Aston Martin. I see Haas as well. I can all see them on the minimap in the pit, so I'm trying to push as hard as possible. Because now we are in P11. I think still 2 more drivers have to pit. I think it's Alonso. No, Stroll and Alonso have both pitted already. But I think it's Hulkenberg and Bottas. No, it's Joe and Hulkenberg. Okay, so we are now back up into P9. So that's 2 points for us if we can keep it in P9. You can see Ocon, Stroll. They are quite fast. We still have Gasly behind us. We still have Piastri. As Ocon is now ahead of us. But we can try to take him back as soon as we have the DRS. You can see the DRS is on now. And we can try to fight back. But I noticed something that's really weird. Of course, it's not only this track, but it's most of the tracks. You can see I'm still behind Ocon, not even getting ahead of him anywhere. But still, he gets DRS. It's not only here, it's also in Zandvoort as well, where I noticed that the DRS detection zones weren't the detection zones of the actual DRS. So I don't know where the detection point is, as I'm completely losing my mind here. But yeah, it's really weird. I think it's some kind of bug, or maybe they just did it wrong. As we are still in P9, luckily I said it right now. But yeah, it's a really big fight with me, Stroll, Ocon, Gasly, who is in there as well. I think Bottas maybe as well, as Stroll now is ahead of us. I think maybe even Piastri and the likes of, who is it? Who is the teammate? Yuki Tsunoda. I totally forgot the teammate of Nick de Vries. That's absolutely ridiculous because he's been driving great this season. But yeah, we actually couldn't overtake Stroll. We always try to move to the inside, go to the outside, and then around the outside in turn 1. But you can see, even in the same lap, we already lost 1.2 seconds, and now Ocon goes ahead of us. Gasly is now close behind us, and we are actually outside the points. What is Ocon doing? I think that's just a team order. We didn't get any damage from that, luckily. You can see I immediately checked, but our tire wear is already up to 35%, 37% on the front right tire. And you can see this fight is amazing. 5 drivers fighting for those final points. And 2 more drivers are behind that. We lose 4 positions in one straight. It's absolutely ridiculous. You can see we didn't get the best exit as well. So yeah, it's a long train. But I misjudged my braking. Oh my gosh. We, as you can see from here, we get damage. It doesn't look like it, but on my map, on my multifunction display, MFD, it looked like we had a lot of damage. Even though the visuals didn't say it, well, it felt like it, as we are now back down to P21. Even my own teammate overtook me, whilst he is in P21, now in P20. As we drifted quite hard into the pits once again. But yeah, not the race that we wanted. Of course, a great race so far, as we now up to the AI level as well. But yeah, of course, that misjudgment just cost us, I think, maybe 1 or 2 points, as we have a retirement. It looks like Alonso is back-to-back retirements, of course, in the first race, and now as well. But you can see, just breezing past the walls, and we got a lot of tire wear. It went from 25 to 33% here as well. But I noticed something as well, which was really weird. If you have something like that tire waits to wear down more until all the other tires have catched up. So if you just want to have one tire be at the same level for the entirety of your stint, well, then just make sure that you collide with the wall slightly so that you only get tire wear damage. And yeah, then you get that.
From Red Bull today, what a superb victory. And talk to me, what do you think it was that sealed the win for them?
I feel like consistency was probably the key today. There's being quick, and then there's being quick lap after lap after lap. If you can do that, you can capitalise on other people's errors without making many of your own. and that's an approach that can push you a long way up the field.
Red Bull put up an outstanding fight for the front position today, and it's great to see it paid off for them. They do so much for the sports that you can't help but be delighted by today's race win.
So not the race that we wanted. As you can see, a double podium for the Red Bull. Of course, they are mighty fast. And I think they will be fast for a lot of races here. But yeah, it's Verstappen who's winning another Grand Prix. We didn't get the best Grand Prix ourselves. Of course, we could have gained a few points if we didn't crash into the back of that Haas. But yeah, you can make a misjudgment. These cars are very fast. Your decisions have to be very fast. And if you just brake 10 or 20 meters too late, it's already gone. But yeah, the results. It looks like Mercedes, Red Bull and Ferrari are capturing the top 6. Lando Norris in P7, with Bottas even in P8. But if you go all the way back down, we are in P21. My teammate in P19, and that's just because Fernando Alonso had the DNF. But yeah, if you take a look at the times as well, he was equal to Logan Sargent, and I think that says enough. The standings, it looks like we are still in P7, behind all the top teams, the best of the rest still with 8 points. And yeah, my teammate didn't gain any points so far, only 12 drivers finished in the points this season. And we are still on P5, but we need those points. We need those points early on. Of course, with the upgrades that are coming for next race, we can try to fight back. Not the best Grand Prix so far for us. But hopefully in Australia, I think that's the next track, we can gain some more points. As well as our team acclaim, you can see it's on level 4.5. So if we get that to level 5 next Grand Prix, we can get a second sponsor, which will give us weekly income and some sponsor requirements as well. With like finishing in top 12, top 10, being in the lead for 3 laps. I've seen that as well. It's ridiculous with a car like us. But yeah, we almost have 1 million now on the bank, and you can see 3 more upgrades are coming for the Australian Grand Prix. But that's for next time. If you enjoyed this video as much as I did, then please like, subscribe, share it with all your friends. We are on our way to 500 subscribers, really close to 400. If we could get it before the 1st of July, that would be an amazing goal to hit. But yeah, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.